How's it going? I just got back from work. I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat my dinner while I talk. Okay. So, in the news, I think it was just last night, I found it on Yahoo News. The House, namely the Republicans in the House, have pushed through a bill which cuts the legal time period to get an abortion back by a month. Previously, it was 24 weeks or 6 months into the 9 month pregnancy. Now it's 20 weeks or 5 months into the 9 month pregnancy. Anything past that is illegal. Now, what this is in response to is a doctor, I believe it was in New York. He had a real rundown clinic, and he was performing illegal abortions. He was he was delivering living fetuses and snipping the spines of them while they believe. I think at last article I checked on it, they say that about 20 babies died there at least, and a couple of his patients. I know at least one of his patients died as well due to drug overdose from painkillers. So this was in response to that, which makes 0 cents. Because this guy was carrying out illegal abortions, abortions that were already outside of the legal 6 month period, abortions that were into the third trimester. So, how is responding to that by making the legal time period shorter going to help the situation? If anything, it's going to make more instances like this happen. It's a stupid, very narrow minded, knee jerk reaction. Um, Now, let me be clear on something. I am, I am, I am pro-choice for one reason only, because I know that if abortion is outlawed, things like this will happen more often. These type of back alley, dirty, awful clinics will become more prevalent. I believe that abortion is murder. However, I also believe that a life equals a life. A mother's life is exactly equal to the baby's life. So that means if the mother is dying, if it's the option of the baby dies or the mother dies, that's a decision that should be left up to the family. I also believe that it's better that just the baby is killed than the mother be forced to go to some back alley, just grungy, illegal clinic where she might die too, because one life equals one life, and one death is better than two deaths. Because it's not like it's even something that can be enforced. You can't, if abortion were outlawed completely, it can't be enforced. You can't stop someone in their home from performing an at-home abortion. You can't do that. All that will be accomplished is that a whole bunch of desperate women who feel they do not have any other options are going to end up hurting themselves. I don't want that. So I am pro-choice for that reason. But so Republicans, stupid, knee-jerk reaction. Democrats, though, one thing I'm sick and tired of hearing of is war on women. Yeah, they think that they claim that the Republicans being pro-life is a war on women. Um, One problem with that there's Republican women. There's a lot of them. There's Republican women. There's pro-choice women's. It's great. There's pro-choice women, and the most recent survey I was able to find from a reliable source has more Americans, including women, pro-life than pro-choice. This is from Gallup.com, and I'll be posting the link to the news article about the House passing this bill and the link to this article about Gallup in the description of the video. This was from 2010, so granted it's a little bit dated, but and who knows, maybe the numbers have shifted slightly either way, but they won't have shifted too far, I don't think, in 4 years. But this poll in 2010 has found that for the first time in American history, 51% of Americans are pro-life versus 42% who are pro-choice. And the 51 and 43 are gender balanced, which means that it's both men and women who are 51% pro-life and 43% pro-choice. So that's 50. That's 8% more women who are pro-life than are pro-choice. So who's the war against? What is this? Is this a war on women by women? I mean, in order for it to be considered a undeniable human right, wouldn't you say that all the members of the people whose rights we're talking about must agree that it's their right? Or at least a vast majority, I would think. I mean, if you went back in time to before the Civil War and asked a slave, do you think slaves would be free? Should be free? Do you think you would find any of them that would say, "Oh no, I love it where I am right now. I'm just having the best time"? That was a war on race. This is not a war on gender. What that is, however, is inane propaganda. It's trying to make the other party look bad, so we look better. This type of stupidity is why I am an independent. Yeah, so knee-jerk reaction or inane, not well thought out propaganda. You decide, as most people will, unfortunately, choose between the two instead of thinking for themselves. Oh well, have a good night.